Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are opening up a topic that is, well, it's technically about drawing, but realistically, it's about the engineering of human emotion.
It really is. It's a huge topic.
Yeah, we are taking a stack of research that is arguably the Bible of the animation industry, and we are cracking it open to a very specific chapter.
Right.
A chapter that deals with a moment we all experience every day, but we almost never stop to actually analyze it. We're talking about the physics of a surprise.
It is a fascinating topic because, well, for the audience, for you and me just watching a movie, a surprise is just a feeling. It's a laugh or a gasp.
Right, you just react.
Exactly. But for the people creating that moment on screen, it is pure calculated engineering, it is geometry, it's timing and physics, all wrapped into one split second.
Exactly. And the source material we're working with today is just legendary. We are looking at the Animator Survival Kit by Richard Williams.
Masterpiece.
It really is. Specifically, we are drilling down into Chapter 13, which is titled Takes and Accents. And for those who don't know, calling Richard Williams a legend is almost an understatement. Right?
Oh, absolutely. It is. This is the man who directed the animation for Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Wow, yeah.
He was the bridge. He was the guy who learned directly from the Golden Age masters of the 1940s. The guys at Disney, Warner Brothers, MGM, and then he took all of that and passed that knowledge down to the modern era.
Right.
So this book isn't just a tutorial. It's a documentation of oral history and technique from the people who essentially invented the art form.
And what struck me immediately in reading this chapter is just how high the stakes are. Williams basically argues that without mastering the take, which is the industry term for a reaction, you cannot sell a character's thought process.
No, you really can't.
You can draw a scared face, sure. You can draw wide eyes and a screaming mouth. But if the movement leading up to it isn't right, the audience doesn't actually feel the scare.
That's the operative word right there.
Right.
Feel.
Yeah.
Animation is basically a magic trick. You have to remember, we're looking at static drawings projected at 24 frames per second.
Right, it's not real movement.
Exactly. To make you feel a shock, the animator has to hack your visual cortex. They have to manipulate time and space to bypass your logic and just hit your gut.
So, let's get into that hack. We have a lot to cover today. We're going to look at the Disney formula versus the Warner Brothers formula, the physics of squash and stretch, and this incredible concept of hard versus soft accents, which I honestly think is going to change how everyone listening watches movies forever.
It definitely changed it for me.
But I think we have to start with the definition. Mechanically speaking, what is a take?
Well, Williams gives a definition in Chapter 13 that sounds a bit like a physics there.
Okay.
He defines a take as an anticipation of an accent, which then settles.
An anticipation of an accent, which then settles. Okay, let's unpack that, because it sounds like a 3-step process, or maybe 4 if you count the starting position.
Yeah, it is fundamentally a transfer of energy. Think about a character realizing they just ran off a cliff.
We all know that classic moment.
Right. Step 1 is the see. They register the information, the eyes lock onto the danger. But here's the thing, they don't just scream immediately.
No.
To make a big movement, you need to generate force. So step 2 is the anticipation.
And what does that look like physically?
The character goes down, they squash their body.
Like compressing a coil spring?
Exactly like a spring. Think about it in real life. You cannot jump high without bending your knees first. You cannot throw a punch without pulling your arm back.
Right.
In animation, to have a big reaction going up, you must first go down. That is the anticipation. You are gathering the energy for the explosion.
Okay, so I've seen the cliff, I've crouched down, I've squashed myself to gather my energy. What happens next?
Step 3 is the accent. That is the release. The character shoots up.
The big reaction?
Exactly. This is the explosion. The eyes popping, the jaw dropping, the scream. It is the sudden release of that stored potential energy. This is the moment of maximum visual impact.
And then they just stay up there.
No. And then step 4 is the settle. You can't stay exploded forever. Physics demands you return to a state of equilibrium.
Makes sense.
So the character settles back down into their final reactive pose. So the whole formula is see, down for the anticipation, up for the accent, and then settle.
It's so interesting because if you just watched a cartoon casually, you'd probably just say, oh, the character looks surprised. You wouldn't consciously notice the down phase at all.
And you shouldn't notice it consciously. If you notice it, the animator might have done it too slowly, or it might feel too theatrical.
I see.
It's meant to be felt as a rhythm. It's the difference between a jerky, robotic movement and a movement that has weight and life. It essentially tells your brain, this character has mass.
Well, let's talk about that rhythm, because Williams spends a really significant portion of this chapter contrasting two very different schools of thought on how to time this exact formula. We have the Disney-type timing and the Warner Brothers-type timing.
The clash of the titans right there. This is really a study in brand identity expressed through physics.
Yeah, let's start with Disney. When Williams describes a standard Disney take, particularly from that golden 1940s era, what are we looking at? What is the overall vibe?
The vibe is expensive.
Expensive.
Yes, it's polished, it's fluid, and it's heavy. The standard formula Williams outlines for a Disney take lasts about 2/3 of a second. In the old days, they measured this as 1 foot of film.
2/3 of a second sounds really fast to me, but in animation, that's actually quite a bit of real estate, isn't it?
Oh, it's an eternity. It allows for a lot of nuance. The key to the Disney sound, or visual sound, I should say, is how they handle the frame rate. They usually handle the down part, the anticipation, on twos.
For the non-animators listening, let's clarify what on twos means.
Sure. Film runs at 24 frames per second. If you animate on ones, you are drawing a new picture for every single frame.
So 24 separate drawings a second.
Exactly. That is incredibly smooth, sometimes almost too smooth. If you animate on twos, you hold each drawing for 2 frames. So you're only doing 12 drawings a second.
Does that make it look choppy?
Not choppy, but it feels slightly slower, slightly weightier. It's easier for the human eye to track the volume. So in the Disney take, the character crunches down relatively slowly on twos.
Okay.
It applies mass. You feel the flesh and blood compressing under gravity.
But then comes the explosion, up.
Right, the up phase, that switches to ones.
So it speeds up.
Drastically, it shoots up. Because the explosion needs to be fast to sell the shock. And here's a detail I just love.
What's that?
The accent, that extreme pose at the very top of the screen where the eyes are bugging out, it is only held for 2 frames.
2 frames. Blink and you miss it.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's just enough to register the shock in your brain, but not enough to freeze the action. And then the character settles back down to the final pose, usually returning to twos.
So it slows down again.
Yes.
Yeah.
This creates a sort of bell curve of energy. Smooth compression, rapid release, smooth recovery. It feels organic. It feels like a living creature reacting to stimuli.
Okay, so Disney is the waltz. It's the illusion of life. It's meant to convince you that Mickey Mouse actually has a skeleton and muscles. Now let's look at the Warner Brothers style. The Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Wile E. Coyote. How does their math differ?
If Disney is a waltz, Warner Brothers is a snare drum. It is jazz. It is significantly faster.
Yeah.
Williams notes that a typical Warner take might only last just over half a second, maybe 14 frames total.
So we are shaving off a significant percentage of the time right there.
Yes, but the real difference isn't just the duration, it's the violence of the transition.
The violence.
Yeah. In the Disney model, you can physically see the character traveling up. In the Warner Brothers model, there is a pop, literally. The character anticipates down, and then typically from frame 7 to frame 8, they snap immediately from the lowest point to the highest point. There are no in-between drawings.
Wait, so frame 7, they're a squashed ball on the floor, and frame 8, they're 6 feet in the air.
Yes. It creates a complete shock to the eye. It is physical impossible, obviously. You cannot teleport.
Right.
But visually, it registers as a pop of energy. It's electric.
And Williams mentioned something truly fascinating here about the accent in the Warner style. He says it's felt rather than seen.
Right, the felt accent. In Disney, you see the peak pose. In Warner Brothers, the accent is often felt en route.
That's a hitty concept, felt en route. What does that actually mean, practically?
It means the character hits that extreme peak pose so briefly, or sometimes the drawing itself is smeared or stretched in a way that leads directly into the settle, that your conscious brain doesn't see a static, scared drawing.
Oh, I get it.
You just feel the impact of the change. It's subliminal. It hacks the persistence of vision to create a feeling of wham without ever really showing you the wham.
That creates such a distinct personality. I'm picturing Daffy Duck right now, and he always feels like he's vibrating with this nervous energy. It's frantic.
Exactly. And Williams makes a great point that you can apply these timing charts to any character design. You could draw a realistic human, but if you time them with Warner Brothers charts, that instant pop, they will feel manic and cartoony. Right. Conversely, if you draw a round, cartoony mouse, but time him with Disney charts, smooth, weighted, he will feel like a real physical object in the room with you.
So the personality is in the stopwatch, not just the pencil.
Yes. The stopwatch tells the audience how the character's nervous system works. Is it smooth and biological? Or is is it electric and erratic?
That is such a cool way to look at it. Okay, so we've got the timing down. We're squashing down, we're shooting up. But let's talk about the body itself. Because when you look at the illustrations in Chapter 13, the characters are getting incredibly distorted. I mean, they look like taffy.
They really do. And this brings us to section 2 of our discussion, the physics of meat.
Meat. I love that term in this context. It sounds so visceral.
It's the actual industry term, moving the meat around. And there is a golden rule about meat, championed by the legendary Milt Call.
Right, Milt Call.
Now, for context, Milt Call was one of the 9 old men of Disney. He was considered arguably the finest draftsman of the entire group. He drew Shere Khan in The Jungle Book. He drew the prince in Sleeping Beauty. He was the guy you went to for perfect anatomy.
So if anyone knows the rules, it's him. And what was his rule?
He said, I keep the same amount of meat in a take.
Meaning volume preservation.
Precisely. Imagine your character is made of a fixed amount of water inside a balloon. You can squash that balloon flat against the table. You can stretch that balloon into a long, thin tube.
Yeah.
But you cannot add water, and you cannot take water away.
So if the character squashes down for the anticipation?
They must get wider. Mechanically, the volume has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
If they squash down and they don't get wider, they just look like they're shrinking. And if they shoot up and get taller for the accent, they must get thinner.
Why is this so important, though? Why can't they just get bigger overall to show they're really scared?
Because if they just get bigger without getting thinner, the illusion breaks. They stop looking like a living thing and start looking like a scaling error or a balloon inflating.
Interesting.
Our brains are incredibly good at tracking volume physics, even in a cartoon. We accept that a coyote can fall off a cliff and survive. But if he grows 10% larger for no reason, our brain subconsciously goes, fake.
That's wild. We have a higher suspension of disbelief for gravity than we do for volumetric consistency.
Volume is identity. If the volume changes, the character literally is the same object anymore. It disconnects the audience from the reality of the scene.
However, there is always an exception. And the exception is the man who basically rewrote the laws of physics for comedy. Tex Avery.
Oh, yes. The master of the wild take. We're talking about the MGM cartoons.
Yep.
The wolf with the eyes popping out 3 feet, the jaw hitting the table and breaking it.
Williams discusses a specific distortion technique Avery used that seems to entirely violate the laws of physics, or at least anatomy, to create extreme energy. It involves delaying body parts.
Yes. This is advanced meat mechanics. This is where you break the rules to sell the force.
Walk us through it. The character is doing the up part of the take. They are exploding upward and spread.
Okay, so normally the whole body shoots up together. But Avery wanted more snap. He wanted to feel like the character was being yanked by an invisible force from the heavens.
Right.
So he would shoot the head and the legs up instantly and straighten out completely, but he would leave the belly behind
Wait, the belly stays down.
for just a few frames, maybe 2, 3, or 4 frames. The feet are off the ground, the head is in the stratosphere, but the stomach is still lingering near the starting point.
That sounds excruciating.
It creates an incredible visual tension. It stretches the torso out like a rubber band pulled to its absolute limit. And then, a split second later, the stomach catches up to the rest of the body in the saddle.
And we don't register this as the character being disemboweled.
We don't, because it happens so incredibly fast. We don't see the distortion as a still image. We feel the elasticity. It registers as vitality.
That makes sense.
It makes the character feel like they're bursting with energy. If you froze the frame, it would look bizarre. The torso is elongated like a piece of gum, but in motion, it just looks alive.
It really reinforces that animation is the art of controlling the viewer's persistence of vision. You're showing them images that are technically wrong to create a feeling that is right.
That's the paradox. Accuracy does not always equal realism in animation. Sometimes you have to distort reality to make it feel real.
There's another trick Williams mentions in this section called the wham factor, which sounds like a band from the 80s, but I assume it's a technique.
It is. It's about anticipation within anticipation.
The Inception style.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So we know the standard formula. Down for the anticipation, then up for the reaction. But if you want to add extra whip or snap to that movement, you don't just go down.
What do you do?
Before the character goes down, they do a tiny, almost imperceptible up move first.
So it's up, then down, then big up.
Yes, that tiny initial up acts as a counter movement to the down. It allows you to slam the character down into the crouch with more visible force.
Oh, I see.
It creates a whipping action. It's like cracking a whip. You have to pull back before you snap forward. It adds texture to the movement so it doesn't look robotic.
It seems like so much of this is about contrast. You go up so you can go down fast. You go down so you can go up fast.
Exactly. Contrast is the engine of animation. Without contrast, you just have floating. If everything is moving at the same speed, nothing is entering.
Here's where it gets really interesting for me. We've talked about the body, the meat, the spine, the squash. But what about the arms? I feel like if I were animating, I'd just forget the arms. I'd just have them dangle there while the face does all the work.
And that would be a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
Dead arms kill a take. If the body is exploding with surprise, the arms cannot be dead weight.
Right.
Williams brings in another legend here, Art Babbitt. Art Babbitt was the man who developed Goofy. He understood physical awkwardness better than anyone.
And Babbitt developed a specific device for this, right? The arm flurry.
The arm flurry is a brilliant way to handle the settle. So the character has done the big explosion, the up, now they are settling back down. What do the arms do?
Flail.
Babbitt suggests an elaborate flurry. The arms swing in circles or figure eights.
Like windmilling.
Sort of, but with a very specific rule. They must counter each other.
Meaning?
If the right arm is swinging clockwise, the left arm shouldn't just copy it. It should go counterclockwise or start a few frames later. If one goes left, the other goes right. This asymmetry is vital.
Why is the asymmetry so important?
Because symmetry looks posed. It looks artificial. Asymmetry looks like chaos. It looks like the character is physically rattling from the shock, trying to find their balance.
That paints a great picture.
It adds a ton of energy to the settle. It's not just I'm calming down, it's I'm physically trying to regain control of my limbs.
I love the visual of that. It's that flailing panic. And there's a specific variation he mentions, the hat trick, which feels very of its time, but it's such a great gag.
Yes, this is very Chaplin-esque. It's a great example of adding narrative to the movement. In the middle of this arm flurry, one hand accidentally knocks the character's hat off.
A classic trope.
But then the other hand catches it or puts it back on, all within the settle of the take.
That is just showing off.
It is. But think about what it tells you about the character. It says, I am terrified, but I still have my dignity. Or, I am terrified, but my reflexes are still sharp.
Yeah.
It adds a narrative layer to the physics. It stops being just a reaction and starts being a tiny scene.
Speaking of narrative, let's talk about the double take, because we see this all the time. A character sees something, looks away, realizes what they saw, and looks back. How do you animate that mechanically?
Williams provides a great breakdown here. The key to a funny double take is the drag.
The drag.
So the character sees this surprising thing, they look away, that's the first take, but instead of moving the whole head smoothly, you keep the face squashed down and looking forward, while the back of the head starts to move away. You literally drag the face features.
So the brain is delaying the realization.
Visually, yes. You keep the eyes locked on the object for as long as possible, while the body tries to leave, then snap. The head whips around to the realization. It's that delay, that drag that sells the, wait a minute, moment.
It's physically showing the thought process. My feet want to go, but my eyes are still processing.
Exactly. It creates a physical manifestation of cognitive dissonance.
I want to touch on one more creative variation before we get to the accents. The concept of breakdowns for vitality.
This is a great tip for avoiding cliches.
Williams says a standard take look, crouch, yell can feel formulaic. So he suggests adding a breakdown. What is a breakdown in this context?
It's an extra pose inserted in a sequence to create a new kind of contrast.
Give us an example.
Okay, let's say Matt yells W-H-A-A-T. The standard way is he looks, he crouches for the anticipation, and he yells for the accent.
Simple enough.
But it's boring. So Williams suggests he looks. Then he leans in closely, maybe squints his eyes, tilts his head, really examines the thing. That lean is the breakdown. Then, from that lean, he drops into the crouch and yells.
Why does that work better?
Because you've added a massive change of shape. You've gone from curious and squinting to explosive and wide. The contrast between the squint and the wide open scream is much greater than just standing to scream.
Oh, wow.
The change of shape makes the reaction feel more violent and vital.
It's like the calm before the storm. The squint makes the scream louder by comparison.
Exactly. Animation is all about managing those comparisons. A loud noise is louder if it follows silence. A big shape is bigger if it follows a small shape.
All right, now we have arrived at the part of the chapter that Williams says he struggled with the most. And honestly, reading it, it's the most technical but also the most enlightening part of the whole book for me. The difference between a hard accent and a soft accent.
This is the holy grail of acting in animation. This is where you separate the novices from the absolute masters.
Williams boils it down to a simple dichotomy. Is the movement a hammer? Or is it a conductor's baton?
It's a brilliant analogy. Let's start with the hammer, the hard accent.
Okay, picture a hammer hitting an anvil. Bam.
Yeah.
What happens physically?
The hammer comes down, it strikes the anvil, and this is the crucial part, it bounces back, it recoils.
It doesn't just stick there on the anvil.
No, if you hit something hard, the energy has to go somewhere. The hammer hits and immediately bounces up slightly before settling. Williams realized that to make a movement look hard or emphatic on screen, you have to animate that bounce.
And he breaks down the timing of this bounce in a way that feels completely wrong to my logical brain, but perfectly right to my eyes. He talks about where the sound happens.
This is the secret. Let's say a character is slamming his fist on a table, or pointing a finger and saying, "Why?" Certainly, the accent, the actual point of impact, is frame 1. That's the contact.
The hit.
Frame 2 is the bounce back, the recoil. Williams says the audience registers the hit after the recoil. The sound, the psychological impact happens on the bounce, not the contact frame.
That is wild to think about. So we don't really see the hit until the hand has already bounced back.
Right, the recoil validates the force. If the hand just hit the table and stopped dead without any recoil, it would feel like the table was made of butter or the hand was sticky.
Oh, true.
The bounce tells us this surface is hard and this motion had real force behind it.
He uses the example of a karate kick, too.
Yes, a karate kick snaps out, hits the full extension, and immediately retracts. If you leave the leg out there, it looks like a ballet move. The power is entirely in the snapback.
Just like firing a gun.
Exactly. The gun kicks back. That recoil absorbs the shock. Without it, the gunshot looks completely powerless.
So that's the hard accent, the hammer, the bounce. Now, what is the soft accent? The conductor.
Think of an orchestra conductor leading a gentle waltz. They're moving the baton, they hit the accent, but do they stop? Do they bounce back?
No, they kind of sweep through it.
Exactly. The hand hits the point of emphasis, but continues moving past it. It flows through. It slows to a stop, cushioning the movement gently.
So there's no bounce at all.
No bounce. It's a drift. Williams calls it the drift. You reach the point of emphasis, but you drift past it.
And this creates a totally different feeling.
Completely different. A hard accent feels emphatic, sudden, sharp. Nope, stop, bam. A soft accent feels gracious, gentle, inviting. I'd be happy to.
After you.
So if I'm animating a character saying, "Hi there, cutie," I want a soft accent.
Yes. You want the head to tilt, reach the angle, and then just drift a little further. It's charming. If you used a hard accent for "Hi there, cutie," the head would snap to the side and bounce back.
Oh boy.
It would look like a twitch. It would look psychotic.
Hi there, Twitch. Yeah, very different vibe. And conversely, if you use a soft accent for an angry command, it loses all authority. If a general yells, "Attack," and his hand drifts gently forward, well, nobody is going to attack.
So choosing between the hammer and the baton is basically choosing the subtext of the entire scene.
It is the acting. It tells the audience the intent behind the words. Williams says even the sound in your head is different. A hard accent is a crack. A soft accent is a whoosh.
I love that. It simplifies the decision making so much. Now, we've talked about all these formulas: squash, stretch, bounce, drift. But section 5 is where Williams throws a massive curveball. He calls it the anti-formula.
This is great because usually instructional books tell you this is the only way. Williams is smart enough to say, here's a way to break every single rule I just taught you.
He brings up an example from a live-action film starring Basil Rathbone.
Basil Rathbone, the classic Sherlock Holmes villain type, very stiff, very proper British actor.
There's a scene where Rathbone is given some shocking information. He's the villain, and he's just been told something that ruins his master plans. Now, based on everything we just learned, he should squash down, eyes pop out, and bounce back, right?
Mechanically, yes, that's the formula. But Rathbone does absolutely none of that. He is standing in the middle of the screen. He is rigid.
The sacred central oval, Williams calls it.
Right, and when he hears the news, his head makes a short, sharp move, UP, maybe 3 frames, and then it cushions back down immediately.
Wait, no anticipation, no going down first?
None, just a sharp, abrupt UP.
Does it work?
Williams says it's one of the strongest takes he's ever seen in his life.
Why? Why does it work if it breaks the rules?
Because it is pure shock. It's rigid. It completely breaks the rhythm of the scene. It proves that a take is really just a strong movement to show surprise. You don't strictly need the cartoony squash and stretch if the timing is absolutely perfect. A sharp, rigid move can be just as shocking.
So the lesson isn't always squash and stretch. The lesson is create a change that registers with the audience.
Exactly. Rathbone's move worked beautifully because he was completely frozen still before it. If he had been moving around talking, that little head snap would have been completely lost. But because he was still, the snap was explosive.
Yeah.
All about context.
It's so fascinating that Williams, a master animator, looks at live action to learn these lessons.
He was obsessed with it. He constantly studied how real people move to understand why cartoons worked.
Which leads us to our wrap-up. We've covered a tremendous amount of ground today. We've unpacked the down and up formula. We've learned about meat and volume preservation. We've seen the difference between the Disney standard on twos, very smooth, and the Warner snap, that instant pop.
We've also armed everyone with the knowledge of hard versus soft accents, the bounce versus the drift.
That is the big takeaway for me personally. I'm going to be watching people in meetings now. Oh, he used a hard accent there. He's really mad. She used a soft accent. She's open to the idea.
It applies to everyday body language, 100%. Whether you are animating a mouse or just watching a movie or watching your boss pay close attention to the recoil, does the movement bounce back or does it flow through? That subtle difference changes the entire psychological meaning of the gesture.
And here's a final provocative thought to leave you with. Williams mentions in the chapter that live action has terribly distorted frames.
Yes, it does.
He means that if you pause a video of a real person moving fast, it's blurry. It's physically distorted.
Right.
He suggests that real life actually does squash and stretch. We just move too fast to see it with the naked eye.
It's absolutely true. Our muscles compress, our skin drags. If we slow down our own shocked reactions to the frame level, we might look just as cartoony as the diagrams in this book.
So maybe cartoons aren't exaggerations. Maybe they're just slowing down reality enough for us to finally see the truth of it.
That is a profound thought. We are all essentially living in a tech-savory cartoon. We just don't have the frame rate to appreciate it.
I love it. Next time you see a character run off a cliff, or just see your friend drop their phone, watch for the pop, watch for the anticipation. It's all there.
It's the universal language of surprise.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the mechanics of animation. We'll catch you on the next one.
Keep your eyes open.
Bye, everyone.